right. Welcome everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for this slight delay due to technical issue. We're glad we sorted it out. So today is the first day of our inaugural International Women's Day training series, and we have our guests already in the room. The person of Dr. Soni Sharma, connecting all the way from Indonesia. And we are live from Facebook at this point. So we encourage all our viewers to kindly pay attention and follow through the process. There are many things we need to learn to have the necessary skills and keep our women participants especially the necessary skills we need to exhibit leadership, especially in this era of COVID-19. Going to call on our host, Anne Waneki, to cite bio of the trainers we are give a general impact. Thank you very much, Anne.
Wow, thank you so much, Elijah. Thank you for that introduction. And once again, I would like to welcome you I would like to welcome you to this very exciting training. I really can't wait to hear what our guest speaker in today has for us. I hope you guys are excited as I am. And I look really forward to it. But before I introduce our speaker for today, I would like to remind us that for today, or rather, I would like to remind us that this is the International Women's Day Training Series, and we have the theme Choose to Challenge, #Choose to Challenge. And today our main topic is, or the topic that our speaker will be talking about is women in leadership, women leadership in crisis, challenges and opportunities. And please, just allow me to mention that indeed this is such a powerful and a very awakening topic, because it highlights that it's not just women who it's not just that women are not getting into leadership positions, but those few women that are lucky enough to get into those positions are facing a lot of challenges, and that is what today's topic is about. And we just want to remind us as women in leadership, as women who aspire to be leaders, that we need to choose to challenge, and that we need to remember that we need to support women in leadership. And in that spirit, on behalf of the Pan African Women Network, I'd like to congratulate the newest woman head of state, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan. We wish her all the very best in this new journey. And we also want to acknowledge all the women in leadership positions globally, or in institutions that we are in, or even at home, who have decided to take on this very challenging role and have chosen to challenge. We like to congratulate you, and we would like to ask you to keep on choosing to challenge. But I also think it's very important to recognize that we as women do not have to necessarily hold leadership positions to become leaders. We can choose to be leaders just where we are. They say that charity begins at home. I say that leadership begins at home. So let's do what we can to make this world a better place as women, and let's support each other as women. And without further ado, I would like to welcome, or allow me to introduce to you our guest speaker for today, Dr. Soni Sharma. She's a visiting professor, cultural communications and language and she's a cultural communication and who teaches language at the University of Pelita Harapan in Indonesia. And Dr. Sharma is also a specialized trainer in the area of training and development, specifically emphasizes on soft skill enhancement and personal effectiveness for managers, time management and stress management, cultural, cross-cultural and business communications. And in her 15 years of teaching and training career, she has got an experience of teaching French, German, and English as professional languages of communication. She has a Bachelor of Arts. She actually got her honors in English from the University of Delhi. She has a Master's of Arts from Jamia Millia Islamia. She completed her PhD from IGNOU. She is also on she is also on the editorial board of the International Journal of Transformation in English and Education. She has co-edited a book on innovation and technology and development by Barty Publication. She has authored 4 books in foreign languages and communication skills. She has delivered and conducted many executive and management development programs for Power Grid, Guile, Bell, India Postal Staff College, Indian Pharmacopoeia Institute of Biological and Indian Institute of Packaging. She has delivered many sessions on campus and to cooperate for executive trainees. So this is a woman who has a very, very impressive bio, and it is my hope that you guys are going to learn from her as much as I am going to learn from her. So karibu sana, welcome very much, Dr. Soni. Karibu sana, and please take on the session. Thank you.
Dr. Soni Sharma, you are welcome. We are happy to host you today. Namaste. I hope, ladies and gentlemen, let's try our best to pay rapt attention and follow through the training process. Dr. Soni Sharma is an experienced teacher and trainer and academia of over 15 years experience. So you're welcome, Dr. Soni Sharma.
Yeah. Namaste. Thank you very much for such a beautiful introduction. Ms. Anne Mawingin, Pan-Africa Women Network, and Mr. Felix. This is indeed an opportunity that I'm getting this platform of Pan-African Women Network, where today I will talk about women leadership, opportunities, and challenges, especially what is women leadership and how they are handling. And nowadays, the time you see how the time keeps on changing, evolving, revolving around. It is not the same. We are living in a VUCA world and everything has changed. So how we can strengthen ourselves more, because it's women, we are carrying a lot of responsibility on our shoulder, not only as a homemaker, but also as a businesswoman, but also as a pioneer of the society. So today, as I have been introduced and I have got this platform by Pan-African Women Network itself, it has a word woman. And you can see how like two beautiful women, Bola and Anne, they are doing fabulous work. And this this kind of work what they are doing, this is bringing Africa as a nation, uh, they are bringing proud to their country. So before I start my presentation or we go ahead, just a brief about me, as I have been already introduced by Anne and Felix what I am doing. So apart from that, even as a woman, I believe a woman is a born leader. Every woman is a born leader. Leadership is not a quality that has to be introduced to her with the span of time or by an education or by a degree. Every woman has a leadership instinct since childhood. She is herself born with that instinct. I don't know whether I am, but I always felt like a leader. And every woman will share the same story. Since beginning, since childhood, we each one of us have our share of struggle. We keep on struggling for during childhood. Also, if we are the eldest one, we have the responsibility of our home or our siblings. If we are the younger one, then also we take care of our parents. Later, when our elder sister or brother, they get married or they go away from the home. So wherever you go, this is a unique thing about our world. This is uniqueness. Doesn't matter which religion, which caste you come to, but you will see all women, they have a common quality, that they all are born leaders. They all are born leaders. They are born with this instinct. Similarly, I had a kind of childhood. I was the eldest in my family, so I had a kind of leadership quality since beginning. What I told you, we are actually born with. So we had a kind of life full of struggles, and I had that leadership quality I had to show with my siblings also. Like, if we are four, then I was controlling them. I mean, controlling in good sense. I was helping them in their study, I was helping them in their household works, I was teaching them what I was learning during my school. So this way my leadership started. Future, taking care of home. Along with that, I completed my study. I'm sure each woman share my story, and they have similar story. uh, my journey from graduation to completing PhD in English literature was not easy. There I had my share of struggles. As we are talking about challenges, challenges becomes part of a woman's life. It's not temporary, that it's for 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years. It's going to follow you the entire life. And within those challenges, you have to find the opportunities, but with your cheerful smile, with your from your surroundings, you get the opportunity. Like, I give you an example. Someday you find that do not have sufficient grocery or vegetables to cook for your dinner, but still you find a way, because you think whatever vegetable grocery is left, you are able to create a dish. That is the beauty of women leadership. It starts from scratch. It's start from a minute detail to heading a company, heading a country. So women leadership is completely extraordinary. It's quite different. So there is a slide about me, what I have done, and then we are going to pursue further about the presentation. And as apart from my qualification, as Anne has already introduced me, those who are listening me, they would like to know what into training, what I have done. I had tried to design different pedagogy. My training methodology was always simple and very direct. I thought simplicity is very important whenever you want to connect with the people. That has helped me to strengthen my leadership quality in different way. I never made things complex or complicated. Didn't matter was it teaching or training. So this was all about me, and a small slide about me. And I have achieved few certification in psychometric test and behavior testing as well. And English communication and foreign languages are close to my heart. So I have been teaching always languages and communication, because when you are good at communication, you are able to deliver people at appropriate time with clarity. This becomes it makes your life easier, because most of the time you would see people keep on fighting with how they convey, how they are going to communicate, or to break the ice. That breaking the ice is always a challenge. So, as our today's topic talk about women leadership in crisis, as I have already discussed, women leadership. What is women leadership, and then crisis? So, leadership. I will discuss it till my last slide, because this is the essence of our presentation and our discussion today. Our training session. The objective of our training session is today, like, discussing women leadership and then crisis. And when you three are into crisis, then what kind of challenges and opportunities, if you are facing any challenges, what kind of opportunities you avail from it? All right. So if we women, as I told you, since we take a birth, or we are born, we have this leadership quality, and crisis is ongoing. Crisis is not only pandemic crisis, or the economic crisis, or the political crisis, or any geographical calamities, or war crisis. Crisis could be anything. Crisis is lack of resources also. Crisis is all about lack of facilities. right? Lack of knowledge. So crisis could be many of the crisis what as a women keep on facing. So as I mentioned, from house front as well, like we see we don't have sufficient vegetables to cook for the dinner, but that is also a crisis, but we still manage to collect some and then we prepare altogether a new dish. So that is the essence, that is the beauty of women leadership, that managing into the crisis. And this is happening since ages. You talk in any civilization, whether it is Indian civilization or you talk African civilization or you talk of any older civilization or even the society, you would always see women around you managing themselves in the crisis. And if we see, is somebody in waiting room? Yes, I allowed. uh, Am I audible?
Yeah, you
I'm
are
audible?
good.
Yeah. Going
Go
clear?
ahead. You are loud and
Yeah.
loud, safe.
Uh, crisis, again, I would say crisis doesn't mean just when government or WHO identify that this is a crisis, then only the crisis start. A woman leader, or as a woman, she faces crisis from home till office, on the way, in the society. So everywhere you will find there is crisis, and from those crises she keeps on struggling, she keeps on fighting, and she that when the in crisis she faces plenty of challenges, not one or two challenges. I'm telling you, you cannot list challenges in a woman life. There are hundreds of challenges what she faces in her entire life, probably thousands of challenges. And in those challenges she keeps on finding the opportunities. She keeps on finding the opportunities. Like I give you an example of my country. Like in India, women were always in past, they were not encouraged for the education, but still we had lot many posts where we had the women as when in beginning only we got a first women prime minister, we got a women president also, where America has got the women president, vice president quite now, quite recent. India had tried to get prime minister and president and chief minister, all women in the senior leadership position quite long back. Similarly, I think in the other South Asian countries, or you will see the small countries like New Zealand or the Germany, the European country, or even in the Africa, you will see women. Moreover, the women leadership, despite the crisis, they move forward and they try to grab the position of they being prime minister, president, not only taking care of their home but entering into the politics, and they were into leadership positions, they joined leadership positions. So therefore we can say women across the world, they were in habit of finding opportunities into challenges. Leadership and we, as leadership and we women. So what are challenges going to be in future, what we are going to discuss, and how we can decide that what kind of challenges we can segregate where we are facing challenges, because it's very important to identify our challenges first, and then only we can find opportunities later. Otherwise we will keep on talking into air, we will keep on beating about the bushes. So it becomes very important that we see that where are what kind of challenges in the entire world we as women we are facing, and how we as a women, as leader, how we are able to control it, how we are going to work on it, how we can improve our leadership, in fact, because as I told you, we are already born with the leadership qualities. So what we need to do, actually what we need to do, we just need to make ourselves strong. Our leadership should be that strong that we keep on we continue to rule the world even in future, and our leadership gets stronger day by day. It should not be fading, rather it should be getting stronger day by day. We should not be discouraged that when people do not trust us, when people do not believe us, we should not be quitting. Rather, we should be more strong, and then we should grab those opportunities where our leadership is required. Now, as my next slide, as I was mentioning you, all of you who are listening me and those who are live, when we talk about challenges, let's differentiate, or let's categorize our challenges. Why not? We can always see, we can always differentiate our challenges, because when we see everyday's life, even we have everyday challenges. We have challenges at our workplace. We have challenges when we go out in the society. So therefore, you would see that challenges does not leave us. We keep on facing challenges almost every hour, almost every day. So to start with, we see what kind of challenges we have around us. So we have socio-political and economic challenges, and in that we have global perspective, national perspective, and local perspective. So what is global perspective? When we see social, political, economic challenges, because you would see global perspective scenario is also very important. What happens all of a sudden, you will see quite unpredictable situation. All of us, we can see, like if a war start, or probably a country attacks on another country, do they ask women? No, they don't ask women, but it's women who suffers most, because she's taking care of home, she's managing kitchen, she's managing her house, and all of a sudden some global decision takes place. Like suppose overnight, when on Kuwait, Iraq attacked, when there was attack on Kuwait by Iraq, nobody was informed about it, but the responsibility of taking care of her kids and family largely falls upon the women. So the challenges is not just taking care of home, her workplace, the women who are working as nurses, the women who are working as doctors, the women who are working as teachers. So whenever any change takes place in global perspective, that becomes a big challenge for women. And they never consider the leadership into that. They have a meeting and all of a sudden they decide it, and they never take the consideration of women leadership, that what is the point of this. Still it is happening in this century, that where we have to say women leadership, we have a lot of talk, conversation, dialogues on women leadership, conferences and seminar, but do we really consider, do we really take into consideration of women leadership whenever we are taking decision on global perspective? I think we hardly take about it. We one fine day, you will see few countries are under threat, under attack, and then probably they are moving from one place to another place, or migration is taking place. But and in that entire scenario, in that entire global scenario, women leadership and women, they have to face a lot of challenges of taking care of themselves, or if they have their kids associated with them, even their husband, or if they are working, then their work related challenges as well. Even in the national perspective, you will see, whenever the policy is framed, or whenever certain I mean what you can say, whenever certain laws are framed, probably there is not much discussion in any country, I tell you, about what women, what is this second, this the half of the population of the world, what she thinks about it, what she thinks. I hardly think there is any dialogue or discussion in any of the assembly of the entire world, or in any nation, where they give priority to what the country of that women women think about this policy, or they have a polling onto it, or they have a kind of mandate onto it. It's rare. Yes, I'm not saying they do not take opinion when they are part of that assembly or they are part of that parliament. I'm talking about the larger population. They hardly take any such kind of taking opinion or consideration of that half of the world population. So whenever a nation even is making policy, probably women leadership is mostly, or the women are mostly ignored. Therefore the challenges are quite high, because all of a sudden one policy comes and women keep on fighting on, then overcome the challenges, and then she keeps on trying the opportunities into that. So whenever we have social, political, economic challenges on global perspective, national perspective, or local perspective, again I will be telling you, whenever local bodies, local election take place, or local decisions are made, and under the category of society, like society creates some rules and regulation, or some political parties makes a certain rule or regulations, or some economic decisions are taking place, probably increasing petrol prices, or increasing diesel prices, or increasing prices of some goods. I don't think that any country or any global organization, they sit or they take opinion from their country's half population, that we women what we think. So challenges are huge, challenges are high, because even in this world, in this 21st century, and now we are going to into the almost we are living in millennial, the ultra modern society, but here women are still left behind. They are not taken much, they are not taken into the consideration when the policy making is taking place, that I mean to say. So as I will discuss more on this, like I give you an example of economic challenges, like recession took place in 2007 to 11. If certain economic slowdown is taking place, and when the job loss is happening, moreover you would see that women, especially if they are, or the wages decisions, or wherever the recession in 2007 to 11, when the entire world was suffering from it, uh, did anyone give thought that how women are going to face this problem of recession, how they are going to do, how they are going to handle it? And whenever this job loss takes place, or whenever there retrenchment policy of any company, still most of the companies, they prefer to sack women employee. Yes, that's truth. That is a truth. Tomorrow, in tomorrow's session, I would actually would like to share you some data onto it. That moreover, even during the COVID time in United States of America, or probably India or Indonesia, even in the restaurant business, or most of the women who left unemployed, they face such kind of challenges, get of job loss, being job loss, or financial crisis. Okay, doesn't matter when you have a husband to support financially, or you have a family to support. What happened when you are a single woman, or you are a single parent? Nobody even takes your opinion, right? So challenges, it's not only starting from home. Challenges you see society is giving you, politics is giving you, the entire economic policy, the entire policy is made ignoring the women leadership, and they are giving you a lot of challenges. Now the platter is full of challenges from everywhere, you are getting this. And but when you want solution, you need women. Even you see, if we talk about the problem of global warming, or we talk about some national issues of any country, of any epidemic or a pandemic, or any other issue like violence, or sometimes internal war situation, right? So if such kind of challenges are created by one society, so where our society, our government is taking us into consideration? No, nowhere. So they are just presenting us the challenges. So let's start from what kind of workplace challenges we get. What kind of workplace challenges we are getting nowadays, or we are getting for long time. First of all, you will see when we go to our jobs, we have discrimination. Most of the places, most of the countries, they have workplace discrimination, gender biasness or gender discrimination you would find. So this is a big issue to discuss about, that most of the country are facing, India is facing. I personally have faced such kind of instances in my life. I'm sure who are listening, many of you have many stories to talk about it, that what kind of workplace challenges you have faced. But now the situation is like every day there is new technology, new transformation, and you would see altogether a competitive job market is there. You will see every day, if you are in IT, you need to learn every day new skills. So a job market has become very competitive, and when you go for interview, you will always find a big line, and the population of our entire world is getting high and job is getting less. So very competitive job market is there. And of course, the second challenge you would find that lifestyle change. Like suppose at home you are being little informal, but when you go at workplace, this is a big challenge for women, that your lifestyle, adapting to that lifestyle, the chaotic lifestyle, spending 8 to 10 hours at workplace and then coming home, and then you have altogether different lifestyle. So that immediate change, you do not get any breathing time, rather you keep on struggling, you keep on juggling between, fighting between the change into the lifestyle. And then you have a lot of financial crisis also, because since we women are getting competitive, and we are also very ambitious, and we want our jobs to be safe, therefore we don't take any risk, and then we are managing between home and job as well. So there are certain issues which arises, and lifestyle gets affected. And of course, if we do leave job, or we try to find a job which is close to our home, or probably we do not want to switch cities, or we don't want transfer in job, then lots of financial issues occur. Because it's very easy for a man, whenever if they are asked by the employer that you shift to city, or an employer says to a woman, I give you an example here, that now you will not live in this particular city. Now this job opportunity, the job location will be changed, and your location will be in some other country, or your location will be in some other city. So for a woman, for a man, adaptation is quite natural, or it's very easy for him, because he is getting a financial growth, so he will move immediately. But for a woman, she had a lot of challenges, because it will affect her kids, it will affect her home, or probably if she's single, then it will affect her financially as well. If she does not switch to that new proposal given by the company, probably she can face a lot of financial issues. And at time, women, if she's single or she is independent, then she to feed her, to take a job, she has to compromise on the wages also. Lots of financial issues come. I myself have experienced that there is always a big difference between what a man is getting salary, the wages, and the women is getting. So most of the countries you will find there is difference between wages of men and women. I don't know why it is, and still there are many organizations that are fighting on to it. But this is a kind of discrimination that my country people, my country women, they face at quite often places. I don't know about all, but I'm sure in the entire world, women are facing such financial issues when they are working at workplaces. And most of the women, when they join job, they have the compulsion of feeding their family also. So they have their personal financial constraint. They get independent, they get single, and they need that support. So sometimes they are manipulated or they're taken advantage of into it. So they have a lot of challenges when they are at the workplace. And different career path. I mean, it very difficult for a woman to switch to different career. For a man, it becomes very easy that they can change. I mean, their branches or their areas of working, different career paths. But for women, it takes time, right? Or she can also adapt into, but situations sometimes does not allow her. So these are kind of challenges she keeps on facing on everyday's routine, everyday's life. And then time management. Time management, of course, a man has not to do, or even I don't say they don't do that, but time management challenges a women face largely because she has that 24 hours working. She keeps on working on all 24 hours. So she has always a tough time to handle in both the workplace and her personal life, and then balancing between it. So the workplace challenges are quite high for her. So these are the challenges which we can identify, and I am sure there are many which I have not probably included here. And uh, what kind of challenges she face in her personal life? That, of course, the relationship, then kids, and the relatives, like if she is working and then she has no time to entertain relatives on weekends, but still there are many relatives, so fighting, and she has no time for herself and taking care of them. Then these are the personal life challenges which are ongoing, and she keeps on having it. And it's not easy to handle it. Again, time management is a big issue. So when we talk about such challenges like work life challenges or personal life challenges, so as we discuss the other challenges, what society gives you, the politics gives you, or the economics, or the economy of any country gives you, and how do you overcome it? Of course, we will discuss that. How do you find opportunities into it? But we need to identify the challenges of our life. What my presentation is today saying, it's just not limiting your challenges. Your challenges could be beyond my description, right? But as a woman, what I have guessed, what I have found into my life, that I think most of the women face such kind of challenges. So in personal life, it is not easy. Even handling relationship is not easy. Nowadays, this is time that when people move on very easily, or they are out from the relationship. So women has to go through the agony and the pain of breaking of the relationship, also probably going through some divorce, going through of some personal life problems as well. As similarly, it's not easy to raise kids today. Raising kids, of course, she's not doing it single-handedly. Of course, there is support of husband, but still in most of the country, at least I talk about South Asian country, there is a large influence of mother on kids life, and a mother is largely responsible of kids study, what kids activities are doing. So just imagine if she's working and then she is handling kids. My god, it's too much challenging. It's too much extremely challenging, right? Handling kids, in fact, it's a kind of 24 hours job, because kids are future of any country. They are future, they are and it becomes it's entirely mostly on the shoulder of parents, and largely it falls on the mother, that how she's raising kids. Otherwise, you will always find people around you fingering onto you, or probably raising a question, oh, where is her mom, and how she is raising her own kids, why her kids are they don't have these qualities, or probably they are not able to perform well into the studies, you will find teachers are even more interested calling mom than dad. Probably it could be on the other way, or it could be contradictory. But what I have faced, like my kids' challenges were mine. My husband was never there. I mean, he never even sensed it, that what was happening into my kids' life. Similarly, in the relationship, what kind of gifts? I know these are small things, but remembering it, and you are storing into your mind that when somebody's birthday falls upon, when somebody's anniversary falls upon, and when you are remembering out, or when you do not remember it, how your relatives can accuse of you. They never tell your husband. They rather you feel guilty. Yeah, all the women in the world, I think most of the time they carry a kind of guilt consciousness of taking care of the entire family. So this is a big challenge, personal life challenge, that what we entire world, we women are carrying on to our shoulder, right? It's not easy. Handling relationship, kids, relatives, that's also kind of management, that you are into appeasing people, because they are own people, they are your people. You cannot leave them, you cannot live without them, so you need to take care of them. So therefore it's a big challenge. So and then what kind of opportunities do you find? That again, gradually we will discuss it. But as you see, such challenges like workplace challenges and personal life challenges and other challenges, what happens at times, that health challenges, it leads into a lot of health challenges also. That once you fall into some stress, depression, lack of happiness, and also chronic diseases or lifestyle diseases also. Most of the countries, they are facing now the rise into cancer, a rise into depression cases amongst women, or probably lack of happiness quotient. They at times psychiatric problem, women they need at a certain stage. And some chronic disease like cancer, or the thyroid, or which generates from lifestyle, or which comes from the constant stress what she has into her life. So even she's not facing the challenges what I have mentioned above, but her challenges are also quite high, because a woman, first of all, in the entire world, and you cannot avoid it, you have to be accepted. Beauty is synonyms of women. Doesn't matter which country you are living in, you have a kind of challenge to be to look good, to be dressed up good most of the time. So this is also kind of challenge which generates at times stress also, a lack of happiness also. If you think that you're not looking good, it might affect you. And a kind of stress problem also. So how do you handle it? So you need to find opportunities to handle it as well, as because challenges are quite hazardous, and it might lead into a long time problem. And then you feel all left alone, because when the earlier challenges what I have mentioned, you are fighting, you are overcoming it, you can overcome. But the head challenges needs completely your attention, that how you are handling it, how you are going to take care of it. Now what kind of challenges society gives you? So society gives you a lot of challenges, many challenges. Every society has different challenges, and it never stops. It does not stop. It does not. I mean, it keeps on adding. With the years. Like in the past, there was some different challenges. In coming time, future will have some other social challenges. So, what kind of social challenges society gives you? Are your surrounding? Of course, racism. You are always judged on your color. You're black, white, or brown. Wherever you go, you are judged on color. As I talked about the beauty, so such challenges are very common. Discrimination, workplace discrimination, you would find in your home also. You will find a lot of discrimination, and then gender biasness, and people are judgmental towards you. They judge you easily. If you're modern, ultra modern, your language, like probably they don't judge men so easily as they judge women, right? So there are a lot of social stigma following you. It is after you, right? So and they stereotype you, they judge you. It's very easy. Most of the country, what I have seen now, I'm moving across, or I go out now, I moved internationally. I lived in Germany also. For it's not that I'm only living in South Asian country. I lived in Germany in 2007 for 6 months, and there also I found these things. There was racism, discrimination, gender biasness. There were also people were judgmental, stereotyping, social stigma. Only things changes, like some other people, some other group of people would judge you, or you live in a different country, other people would judge you. But these problems exist everywhere. Everywhere you will be judged, with your hairstyle, with your drinking style, with your clothes. So therefore you need to be very, very what I don't think you need to be careful. Overcoming social challenges, you need to be only happy, that you do not need to take care of what others are thinking. Otherwise you would never be able to live your life. You will never be able to find the opportunities what's happening into the society. It's very important that if you want to find opportunities after challenges, or you want to do something new, you want to bring some innovation into your life, it's very important that you ignore few things. Yes, challenges are there. So how do you overcome those challenges? You need to ignore, you need to listen your mind, you need to stay happy. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to run a business, or if I want to deliver a lecture, I want to be a trainer, how I would be a trainer if I'm not happy? So therefore it's very, very important that at times we see the challenges, but we need to identify the challenges. Which are the challenges you are going to address? It's very important that which challenges you address. Okay, are you sure that you are going to address each challenges of your life? If you start addressing each challenges, then your time would go waste, or your entire life would go waste, right? You cannot be every time mindful of what people are thinking about you, how people are judgmental towards you, how they are judging you, or some social stigma which they have imposed on a particular society, that a woman is supposed to live in this way, a woman should work in this way, a woman should be dressed like this, a woman should cover her face, right? Or a woman should behave in certain way. So certain social stigma are there. But moreover, when you are handling your personal life challenges, uh, your kids, your people, or if you're single, then you need to decide which challenges you are going to address. If you are working women, then what is your aim? What is it, if you have these work life challenges or workplace challenges, then you need to think that when you are social challenges. So if you compare all these challenges, you need to identify that which challenges you are going to address. And I'm sure every individual, after like what I'm talking today, these are common challenges, but every individual, every woman, she has her own share of challenges. So you need to identify that, are you really going to address each challenges of your life? I don't think it's needed. It's important, right? If somebody is making racist remarks on you, do you think you need to address that? No, not at all. You just need to ignore. If somebody is discriminating me or paying me less salary at my workplace, that has to be addressed, right? That because that's your right. That has to be addressed. You will also find a lot of gender biasness. So once you can ignore, but not every time, that you can address, that you can write people that you are being little biased. But when people are judgmental towards you, you can always ignore it. You can always say that you can always ignore such kind of stereotyping or judgmental comments. Same with social stigma, which society keeps on imposing. Either you can ignore, or if you start fighting with it, but depends at what kind of profile you have, what kind of ambitions and aspirations you have, what kind of opportunities you are looking. You want to be successful professionally, you want to be successful personally. There is no harm being successful at your personal front, and not doing anything professional. First of all, your acceptance as a woman is very important. You accept yourself as what you are as a woman. Then only you can talk about that, what as a woman, what kind of leadership qualities you have, and then as a leader you can emerge. Otherwise, how would you, if you do not trust yourself, you do not love yourself, or probably you do not think about yourself, then you can never be a leader. And then you have to sort out, the next step should be that which challenges I should address. And then amongst those challenges, I need to find the opportunity. For an example, if you're ultra ambitious, you have aspiration to start your own company, you have an entrepreneurship idea into your mind. All right. So if such objectives are there, then you have to give up your workplace option. I mean, you need to give up a job, and then you have to find the challenges. Then you have a lot of social challenges there, like people might be judgmental, or they might try to influence you, that do not leave a job. You already have established job, why you want to start a business, or why do you want to be an entrepreneur? You already have financial strength. I mean, you do have a salary. Never go for an entrepreneurship. So what you would do, again, you need to decide. It's your call. So how do you overcome such challenges into your life, whenever you have people around you, or they are giving opinion, they are being judgmental towards you? So moving forward, and then political challenges, as I told you that as a woman, whenever some policy is made, I don't think they ever take women into consideration, any of the country. I'm really unhappy about it. They do not have any polling. They do not have any kind of opinion sharing, that what as a woman you think about it whenever they have a kind of policy. Like recently, I talk about my country. In my country, there is agriculture policy. There is an agriculture policy introduced, and it was introduced. Okay, but do they took the mandate of women? Because in Indian agriculture there is a 75% share of worker who are women. 75% women are working in the field and in the farm, and still they have not taken the opinion of women. So policy actually is affecting us. Policy is policy made by people, as I talked about, national, international, and the global. Whatever they are creating more challenges for us. Actually, it is making our life more full of challenges. And then political unrest, right? A lot of political unrest, like you see in Syria now. There was a kind of war situation, and then people from Syria, they moved to different countries. And then, as I talked about, the attack on Kuwait by Iraq, and now in Afghanistan. So political unrest also, like in India also, is a lot of political unrest is there, or in any country, in any country. So who is affected more? We women. We women are more affected. Why? Because political unrest moves your job, and then you have crisis at home also. So a lot of crisis it generate. Policy generates crisis. Political unrest generates crisis, and power change also. Power change too generates lots of crisis. So crisis comes from all these angles, right? What I have been talking for last an hour. And politics is major reason that whenever political crisis happens, and the warlike situation, the migration and immigration also. As I will share here an example. When in 1947, my country India was divided. Actually, there was a partition took place in 1947, and we were divided into two countries, India and Pakistan, and later Pakistan and Bangladesh also. So who were sufferer mostly? No, children or the women. That was the biggest crisis. The Holocaust, like when in Second World War, during Second World War, First World War to Second World War, you see Hitler atrocities on a particular community, Jews, and whatever he was doing to people from Jews community. And there also the mostly children and women were the sufferer, because they cannot hide easily. They were considered tender and weak. They cannot move so easily as the male or the main member can go. So similarly, so you would see that there are many chances, many instances happen in the past, and it's happening now also. Like in the COVID crisis, you would see a lot of migration took place. People moved from one country to another country. Job loss happened, and then immigration policy change overnight. So such kind of political challenges create a lot of crisis. As I told you that in as I again go back to my slides, and I will say, I will just recall what I have said, that is a social, political, economic scenario create lots of crises, and the crises are on the global platform, national platform, sorry, and the local platform. And you keep on struggling with those crises and those challenges. And then you have this workplace crisis, like when you are working, such kind of challenges and crisis takes place, like when you have competitive job market, or you are trying to adapting to different lifestyles, so such lifestyle crisis, and then financial crisis. And of course, different career path. You have been BTech, but now you see there are more opportunities in marketing, so you're doing MBA. So choosing different career path. And then of course, time management is a big crisis for women. Then your personal life crisis, like sometimes your relationship is in trouble, sometimes your kids are troublemaker, sometimes you have problem with the relatives. And then of course, time management again. It's for those who are joining later, like if some why I'm repeating it, because many, I see many audience joining later, so it can give them a look what I am trying to discuss. Felix, is going well? Felix, are you there?
Yes. Boy.
It's okay. I think few have joined in between, so I allowed them.
Okay,
All
don't
right.
worry about joining. We'll do it by ourselves so that you don't get distracted. We'll join. We'll allow them in by ourselves.
Okay, so I shall admit them.
I said we will admit them by ourselves so that we don't distract you.
Okay. So as we see, we have a lot of crisis in our personal life, and as I have discussed, health crisis also. And then as I come back again, then we have politically created crisis and the challenges. And it has always affected women in larger way. And especially the war situation or any political unrest, and they never take such decision taking women into consideration. So you will have many example like this around the society, which is creating a lot of challenges, and these are the crises that which lead us to have which lead increase in the number of challenges what we have. And then we have economic challenges. You would see economic challenges are recession, as I have already talked about. The policies, like some policies are made like this. As I said, you recently, government of India talked about farmer bill, and they have introduced an agriculture policy, and where the larger portion of the farm workers are women. Now they have introduced the different wages and the policies. Now they have never discussed some women leader, they never discuss the women representative, that how as a women farmer what I'm feeling if I'm working in. And they all overnight they took this decision. So that kind of challenges, or uncalled challenges, unconditional challenge, whenever it is, that how women work in such crisis, what they are doing. And of course the agriculture, like agriculture format has been changed. And any country you go, you come to Indonesia, you go to India, you go to Ghana, even South African countries, you will see that largely agriculture production is dependent on the women. That if you see agriculture economy, country like Indonesia is also agro-based economy. Here also you would see most of the women are working. And but I believe when on the senior leadership position, whenever they are taking some decision in the increase of the price, or in the price decisive, they don't take women into much consideration. This same thing happening in my country as well. So similarly, such kind of economic challenges or the crisis keeps on happening. And then you see world crisis, like in the entire world, when some crisis takes place, as I have already talked about, the war is created by the politics, but majorly when the entire world is involved into, like world crisis, when first world war happened, second world war happened, or whenever certain terrorist attacks take place in any country, or epidemic like Ebola, or pandemic like COVID. So if or plague, such kind of world crisis takes place, so how women behave into that, how women actually go ahead with that. So that is also a kind of situation that we keep on finding such crisis. So now, how do we find, as I in my further in my previous slides until now I have discussed about all kind of crisis, I think, whoever listening me and today in my session, because it's very important to understand that what kind of challenges you are facing into your life. So you have the entire list of crises, your everyday's life crisis also you can pen down, but these are the major crises. Now in these crises, how women try to find the opportunities. If you talk about the political crisis like war like situation, I have always seen even the the women who were untrained, they joined themselves as the nurses, or the moreover they worked as the medico facilitator, and they worked immensely, they contributed for their country, and they help and they serve people. Every country, whenever they are into war crisis, they need mostly women. So you will see in that crisis, a woman finds the utmost opportunities to work for society, work for social welfare, work for her own people. And nothing is better than saving somebody's life. And this only can be done by women. That is why you will see that whenever it's about even WHO, whenever it's about the volunteers in the nursing services, mostly women are encouraged because they are born with this instinct of taking care of people. So why we should only see the negative side, the crisis of the war? Why we cannot also find the opportunities? Because as a life, we are born with we are also born to serve other people, right? So whenever the war as a crisis happens and take place in the world, or whenever other countries are affected, so we always can take advantage of it, and we can always find the opportunities into it. So of course it is challenging, it's very very challenging, your life is at risk. Probably sometimes you are trained, or sometimes you are not trained, or you're trained randomly because they need more people whenever war like situation is there. But whenever it is happening, you can always find opportunities, and there are plenty of stories here I will talk about, like, when if you have read the story of some Holocaust uh, story or concentration camp, it was women who were saving children, who were adopting children, those who were suffering from the Holocaust or in the concentration camp. Women always played a larger role in the crisis. It's not the current scenario since history, even history witnessed that. So whenever there is major crisis, it's the women leadership emerges, especially Holocaust situation or war situation. Similarly, in terrorist attack, you will see, because a woman is anchor. She has an anchor and she carries lot of she, though she is full of emotions, but she carries lot of responsibility. So in terrorist attack, you had seen many people, they have loss of their lives. So women are left behind. What they do, even if they are not educated, they become sole bread earner of their family. So even in the crisis, they find the opportunity, they start earning, they educate themselves, and they become the pillar, the strength of their family. Similarly, in pandemic, you would see, I'm sure, today in my case study, I have taken an example of from Ebola, where in Libya, when Libya was affected from Ebola, and when some few African countries were affecting, I'm sure in any pandemic or epidemic, mostly women are the fighter and the warriors. They are the front runners. They come forward. They take care of their family. They, as them as medico, they care of the people at hospitals, but also they take care of the family, their diet, their, it's only done by the women. So you will always see that women, they are finding opportunities into the crisis. Whenever there is crisis, they have been finding the opportunities. And moreover, you will see whenever certain economic crisis is happening, what I have mentioned above in my slides, you will always find that they have started some work from home opportunities. Like in pandemic, you see a lot of job crisis happens, and probably lot many business shut down, a lot many companies shut down. So what they did, they started working from their home, because they have lots of handicraft skills also. They believe in working on anything, working on I share an example here from my country, that one couple, they husband lost the job, wife was always housewife. So pandemic, because of pandemic, a lot of job loss happened in my country too, and in several countries it happened, not only in India. So therefore what she did, she thought how to run family. Running a family is always a kind of challenge for women. So pandemic happened, of course, we still, it is going on, we all are suffering, and crisis is there. What she did, how to run a family, the example I'm talking about. Husband job loss was there, there was no money in the house. She had cooking skills. So what she did, she bought a small truck with her saving, small truck, not very expensive, and she started cooking fresh rice and curry. And she started standing in front of the offices, because during pandemic, most of the restaurant came down and they were shut down, so people had problem of eating, like those who were away from the family. So they had lots of problem of eating as well, that where to have, so she used to make fresh rice and curry, and she used to stand in front of the building of the offices, and there people, and she had her visiting card. She started living on the table of those offices, requesting people to let her in. And in this way, whenever there was lunchtime, people would come to her van, or you can say the truck, and they were having the fresh and the warm rice and curry. So in this way she started earning, and then later when the people asked for more, and she started delivering on their table as well. So in this way she was able to feed people. So those who are listening to me, what you would analyze? This was an extreme crisis. When you don't have money, you are hopeless, you have no job, extreme personal crisis. an economic crisis also, and it was pandemic, I mean world crisis too, right? So what you do in such situation, you need to find an opportunity. So you can only find opportunity when you are hopeful, when you are positive, and you have happiness inside. And she maintained all three, and she found this opportunity, and still she is running that track. And her husband also joined. Now her husband never got back to the company, and he never joined back any job because they both got busy. Had this pandemic not happened, how they would have got these opportunities? So crisis is always the inventor of the opportunities, remember. So if you don't have crisis, how you can have the opportunities? Crisis will create challenges, challenges will create opportunity. So these three are together. As I just talked about problems, it is into your attitude. How do you handle, how a women leadership or women, they, whenever, as I told you, we all are leaders. So I'm considering all women who are listening me from Pan-African Women Network, or who got connected with me through Facebook. We all are leaders. So when we have leaders, we have to have that leadership attitude. As I told you, crisis or problems, it comes. And if you treat problems as they are, they are problems. But if you treat crisis and problems as opportunities, they are opportunities. As simple as that. As I gave you last example, in the last example, you had seen that how these problems, or that lady during pandemic, she converted that crisis into opportunities. So there are various examples around you will see that where you have created your problems and crisis into the opportunities. Now just have a look of circle of influence. What are the things which influence us and which actually shrink our thinking process? Whenever we move from crisis to opportunities, whenever we move from crisis to challenges and challenges to opportunities, so this circle of influence or circle of concern comes, right? What influence us? What kind of things influence us, upset us, or frustrate us, or defeat us? So if we control that, we can easily find the opportunities. First of all, weather, global affairs. We get scared. Like pandemic is happening, and we keep on seeing the chart, rise, fall, right? So if we keep on seeing the news, if there is bomb blast in some other country, we'll get scared. Other opinion on Facebook, especially social media, health, your past experience, your past interaction with somebody, past relationship. So these are circle of influence which hampers your chances of opportunities. So whenever you are into crisis, your personal crisis, your health crisis, your social crisis, your economical crisis, or any sort of crisis you are, or it's even the world crisis, and you want to find, there is a thin line difference between your crisis and finding the opportunity, challenges and the opportunities. So if there is crisis and then challenges and the opportunity, then you have circle of concern is there. So once you remove this circle of influence, you have only endless opportunities with you. You can always find the endless opportunities with you. So before we move forward, I would like to share a story with you. Is it visible, Felix? Can you see my screen?
It's visible.
Okay, so let's talk about, as I have already talked about how crisis, challenges, and this opportunities come, let's discuss few case study. Case study is very live examples are very important. Otherwise, how we would know that how actually in crisis people they have worked. This is the story of a girl I would read. It was during Ebola. This story is from Libya. It can be exhausting nursing a child through a nasty bout with flu. So imagine how 22-year-old Fatou Kekula felt nursing her entire family through Ebola. Her father, her mother, her sister, her cousin. Fatou took care of them all single handedly, feeding them. Look at this 22-year-old girl, her cousin, single handedly cleaning them, giving them medication. And I'm sure all of you are listening me, you know how Ebola has been dangerous, hazardous to health, giving them medication and then cleaning them, giving them medication, and she did so with remarkable success. 3 out of her 4 patients survived. 3 out of 4. And that's 25% death rate, considerably better than the estimated Ebola death rate of 70%. Fatou stayed healthy, which is noteworthy. Like while she was taking care of people, she remained healthy also. And Fatou stayed healthy, which is noteworthy considering that more than 300 healthcare workers became infected with Ebola. Like in pandemic, even now COVID, you will see many people while treating, they get infected. But taking care of her 4 family members, she was not even infected. She did not even have personal protection equipment. She has not that. Those white space suits and goggles used in Ebola treatment units. Instead, please, it's very interesting and inspiring, the story of Fatou. Fatou, who is in her final year of nursing school, invented her own equipment. International aid workers heard about Fatou's trash bag method. And now she invented, look at the opportunities, what she found into crisis, and now are teaching into other West African countries who cannot get into the hospitals and do not have protective gear of their own. Every day, several times a day, for about 2 weeks, Fatou put trash bags over her socks and tied them in knot over her calves. Then she put on a pair of rubber boots and then another set of trash bag over the boots. She wrapped her hair in a pair of stockings and over that a trash bag. Next, she donned a raincoat and 4 pairs of gloves on each hand, followed by a mask. It was an arduous and time-consuming process, but Fatou was religiously doing it, never cutting corners. Her Ebola nightmare started July 27, when her father Moses had a spike in blood pressure. She took him to a hospital in the home city of Kakata. A bed was free because a patient had just passed away. What no one realized at that time was that the patient had died of Ebola. One woman walked in and the Ebola nightmare began. Moses, 52, developed a fever, vomiting, and diarrhea. Then the hospital closed down because nurses started dying of Ebola. Fatou took her father to Monrovia, the capital city, about a 90 minutes drive via difficult roads. 3 hospitals turned him away because they were full. She took him back to another hospital in Kakata. They said he had typhoid fever and did little for him. So Fatou took him home, where he infected 3 other family members. Fatou's mother, Victoria, Fatou's sister, Vivian, and their 14-year-old cousin who was living with them, Alfred Winnie. While operating her one-woman Ebola hospital, one woman, where she is the only woman. Look at the leadership and the crisis and how she is struggling to find the opportunity. One woman hospital for 2 weeks. Fatou consulted with her family doctor who would talk to her on phone but would not come to the house. She gave them medicine she obtained from the local clinic and fluids through intravenous lines that she started. At times, her patient's blood pressure plummeted so low that she feared they would die. I cried many times, she said. I said, God, you want to tell me I'm going to lose my entire family? But her father, mother, and sister rallied and were well on their way to recovery. When space became available, uh, when space became available at JKF Medical Center on August 17, Alfred never recovered, though, and passed away at the hospital next day. I'm very, very proud, her father said. She saved my life through the Almighty God. Now he's working to find a scholarship for Fatu so she can finish her final year of nursing school. He has no doubt his daughter will go on to save many more people during her life. I'm sure she'll be a great giant of uh, Liberia, he said. So see, it's a great story. Great story, and nothing could be better than saving human life in the crisis. So this story, this case study is all you can see, the crisis, the health crisis, the world crisis, and personal crisis, health crisis, everything that into her life. And then but she never lost her hope, and she became one person organization, one woman organization. What I told you, every woman in the entire world, any woman is born with leadership quality, and then whenever their time comes, she exhibits it. She has that exuberance. She has the capability to demonstrate it. Doesn't matter which place of the world you are sitting. And here's, you see, Fatu is a great example from Liberia, that she had saved her family. She had created a hospital. That means she created an organization within her limitation. She created all the facilities for her people. She saved life. So nothing could be better than that, this example of coming out from the crisis and finding opportunities, and how she has handled the challenges. So this is the example of Fatu. One more story I would take you towards, from Jakarta, from Indonesia. This is also this is little different story, that how women leadership is magical. Women leadership is magical. She needs crisis, I am telling you, and in crisis she comes with more floral colors. She's more successful whenever she is playing into crisis. So it's a story about her. This is the piece from a newspaper. That is why I have written the authentic reference source. In Indonesia, women own approximately 25% of all micro enterprises. You see, all 25%. What images come to mind when you think about successful women entrepreneurs in Indonesia? In Cirebon, West Java, you can meet Kurnia lady, hustling each day around her factory, overseeing 12 workers who are producing rattan furniture. I hope you know rattan furniture, rattan light wood furniture. The rattan furniture industry in Caravan has long been a male-dominated business, but it is a male-dominated business. But Kurnia has broken barriers to become one of the most successful business owners in that area. In part, her business has been made possible due to the support of her husband. Yes, husband supported. I've never said into my presentation into crisis that family does not support you. Family does support you, but the crisis could be different whenever, even in personal life. So here, Kurnia has got the support of her husband, who assisted her in creating the frame for the production of rattan furniture. In this digital era, now this is the era of e-commerce. So Kurnia's millennial daughter also played a big role in supporting her business. Kurnia started to explore online marketplaces with the assistance of Mampu and Coppernet in order to reach new markets for the products. Her tech-savvy daughter is critical when it comes to handling online orders. The online sales have already generated 2.5 times more profit for Kurnia than her usual sales channel of bulk factory orders. Because there was pandemic, so she started selling online, e-commerce. And it generated 2.5 times more profit for Kurnia than usual sales channel of bulk factory order. What she was doing earlier, she was only supplying to factory, but because of pandemic, factory was closed, so she found this opportunity of supplying through e-commerce. Now she is able to talk to customer directly, cutting out multiple intermediaries. Multiple intermediaries were finished. Running a growing business in a male dominated industry, managing a dozen employees and navigating a digital transformation, all while being a mother and a wife, would be challenging for anyone. It's challenging for anyone. Handling male dominated industry, one doesn't employ, and digital transformation, because this pandemic also has given you a digital transformation look. And then she was able to maximize her potential as an entrepreneur, and has even expanded her market internationally as far as Mexico. Now she was not restricted to Indonesia only, she expanded herself to Mexico. Further east in Bojengoro, East Java, Nagisa is a creative entrepreneur who has been. This is the another story of entrepreneurship. The other lady entrepreneurship apart from Kurnia. So this is the story of Nagisa. What she was doing in West Java, the trunk of banana tree. As I told you, in Indonesia is quite agro-based economy. So here, even banana trunk is used. So what she started making snacks, premium snacks. Now she started sending to many stores. Her innovative idea and persistence have inspired her whole family to contribute to the business. Her husband often cooks the chips. Her daughter helps with the packaging, and her son assists with deliveries to retail outlets. Nagisa used to sell her chips around her neighborhood using very plain packaging. Through her participation in Copernicus Wonder Woman program since 2016, she has been able to gain a competitive advantage, which she learned a range of skills, including financial planning, developing a business development plan, marketing, and designing attractive packaging. So Nagaisa and other entrepreneurs who participated in program created an opportunity, because you need to have an idea. And whenever you think there is a crisis of lack of digital technology, lack of digital knowledge, like even I am very poor at digital things, I was. So this pandemic has taught me to be digitally enabled. So there was this opportunity. So even Nagisa case, she availed those opportunity of the training, and she learned how to do financial planning, how to plan business development, and then marketing and designing. Because product, you can create a product, but you need all these four things. How you are doing your financial planning and business development plan, and then marketing, and also how you are designing your package. So she did it, and her income increased by 2019. You know how much income she has increased? 46%. 46%. So these were the two women entrepreneur story. One more story of Indonesia I'm going to share. In Yogyakarta, Ida, she was busy making bakso meatballs, so for her husband to sell from new meatball cart. So her husband was selling it on cart. Ida came up with basco cart idea with the hope to earn some extra money. Her main job as a porter, not as a porter in traditional market, but she worked as a porter in the market. She was already working there for 15 years, so she was earning 20,000 to 50,000 Indonesian rupees each day by carrying 70 kilogram of fruits and vegetable at a time for buyers and sellers for the market. Despite this, she was breaking her back, backache, health problem. I talked about health challenges, health crisis also, but the income was not sufficient. So what she became, she was one of the women porters supported by Yayasan Anissa Swasti. That is an organization, one NGO in Indonesia, who focus on women right and empowerment. So most women porters struggle with deep and persistent poverty. So Yasanti, that organization with the support of Mampu and Kopernik. They were supporting women porter like Ida to have the basic needs such as toilet in the market toilet, because women need, women has not only challenges. Why I talked about personal challenges and personal crisis. Many of you would be thinking about like what, it's only business challenges, workplace. No, we have a lot of personal challenges also. So a toilet is need. So in market, because most of the porter were working in the market, so the basic need of toilet, an improved working environment, a good idea, and her spouse support enabled Ida to start a side business and set up their backsaw stand. Now, being a porter, she started having the fixed stand, and the business is already bringing in additional income of rupees 1 million daily and enabling them to provide a brighter future for their family. So, see how many success stories I have shared with you, and these all talk about that how they have worked into the crisis, and how despite the crisis they have made their life successful, and they found the opportunities as a porter, as an entrepreneur, as a chips maker, I mean crack makers, or as a front as a nurse also, as a health worker also. So I have taken almost all the areas where they I try to find this link working if it can, and then you can see this video. One moment, if we can play this video. Here again, I'm sharing this that how in the war crisis and the other crisis, how women played a major role. So you just have a look on this video, or you can just, I can share the link. Those who are interested must to watch. This is a must watch video. This is really inspiring. So I'm playing here. I hope those who are listening got about this woman, Madame Curie. She invented in the World War One the X-ray machine. That how X-ray machines are working. And this is such an interesting story. Can you just imagine that in crisis like war, she found such challenges, and then how she converted into opportunities. Earlier it was carrying the X-ray machine was a big task because it was big. Then she created a portable X-ray machine which was she was able to carry on the front line, I mean where the war was taking place, and then it was easy for those disease, the wounded people, to x-ray them and to provide them medication. You know, such a blessing to the entire humanity. Who has given this? Women leadership has only blessed us. So what could be the best example than this, that the what Madame Curie has given to the humanity? So here the video for you.
You have to share your laptop sound so that we can get the video. Dr. Soni, we can't hear your video. We can't hear your video sound, so you may have to share your laptop sound so that we can hear the video. We can see it, but we can't
Okay,
hear.
sound is not coming.
Yes, you have to share your sound.
Were little Curies.
Is it okay?
And Curie enlisted her teenage daughter, Irene, as her assistant. Curie not only taught her basic automotive maintenance, but also how to
Is it
drive.
okay, Felix?
She soon had a fleet of 20 petite Curies servicing the front lines. As the cars were useless without trained technicians, Curie personally trained at least 150 women in the fundamentals of radiology, anatomy, car repair, and photo processing. After the Western Front stabilized,
Do I need to play again or I shall continue, Felix?
Okay, you can actually decide to play.
No,
again.
it's okay. I have already talked about, so
Curie established some 200 radiological labs in battlefield hospitals. Thanks to her determination, an estimated 1 million Allied soldiers would receive X-rays during the war, saving untold lives in the process. In the years after the war, the portable X-ray unit underwent significant advances, and it remains a fixture of battlefield hospitals to this day. Mabel St. Clair Stobart was a product of the British upper classes. Like other suffragettes of her day, she felt strongly that women should be afforded the same rights as men. Unlike other suffragettes, however, Stobart believed that demonstrating the value of women on the battlefield would help secure their right to vote. Originally a member of the First Aid Nursing Yeomanry, an all-women's medical auxiliary, Stobart broke away in 1910 and founded her own organization, the Women's Sick and Wounded Convoy Corps. In the summer of 1910, Stobart led dozens of female volunteers through a week of training in the English countryside. The course covered first aid techniques as well as basic military skills, such as marching and signal recognition. When the First Balkan War erupted in 1912, Stobart approached Sir Frederick Treves, the head of the British Red Cross, to offer the services of her organization. When Treves told her that women had no place on a battlefield, Stobart simply bypassed him and took her group to Serbia and later Bulgaria. To finance their mission, Stobart used her influence in British high society, essentially crowdfunding the whole project. The Convoy Corps spent the duration of the war at the front, with women working as doctors, drivers, orderlies, and administrators. The Convoy Corps returned to England in 1913, and when World War I broke out the following year, Stobart again petitioned the Red Cross for an assignment. Treves again dismissed the performance of the Convoy Corps in the Balkan Wars as, quote, exceptional, end quote, implying that it could not be repeated. Stobart later wrote that, quote, action is a universal language which all can understand, end quote. Once again, she simply sidestepped Treves and made her own arrangements. Stobart's troops served first in Belgium and then in Serbia. She was commissioned as a major in the Serbian army, becoming the first woman to hold that rank in a national armed force. When German forces broke through Serbian defenses, she led her unit and a column of refugees over 200 miles of mountainous terrain to safety in Albania. After Stobart returned to England, her wartime heroics were widely publicized, and she took the opportunity to continue speaking up for women's rights. At the end of the war, the United Kingdom had passed a law that gave some women the right to vote, and full suffrage came not long after. When the U.S. Army Nursing Corps was established in 1901, its ranks were limited to white women. But during World War I, the increased need for medical services led the Army to admit a number of African American nurses. One of them was Aileen Cole Stewart. Stewart first received recognition in 1918 when she helped the Red Cross monitor the Spanish influenza pandemic in West Virginia. Miners were key to any war effort for the precious fuel they provided for an army. Keeping them healthy became a top priority. Stewart went to work in Bretts, a small town in northeast West Virginia, where she monitored the health of some 20 families. Just after the armistice ended the war in November 1918, she was asked to serve in the U.S. Army. After an intense training course, she was sent to Camp Sherman in Ohio, where she nursed ailing soldiers. Though it would be another 3 decades before the Nurse Corps became fully and permanently integrated, Stewart and her fellow African American nurses proved that all women were capable of serving their country with honor. Marie, Mabel, and Aileen weren't the only heroines of World War I, but their story.
So we have 3 heroines here, Mary, Mabel, and Aileen. All these 3 heroines of World War I. And then you see even the history justifies it. Even world has accepted it. So why not we should accept it. We should be accepting it, that what we have worked, we have given to world. And in any crisis, we should not be losing our hope, and we should be working, and we should be trying to find opportunities into crisis. Like these women, they have created milestone. You see all these 3 coming, whose example I have taken into the video. They have came from different subjects, different sphere, different part of the world, but they have brought blessings to the entire humanity, and they are called heroines of the world. Not heroines, the actresses, but heroines of the world, what they have brought to the humanity. So a woman is that capable. If you have heard this last sentence, that how a woman is capable, what she can do, they had shown the limitation of the woman is nowhere. There is no limitation of women's capability. So it is. Can you see my screen? Yeah.
We can see it.
Yeah. So what I mean to say that it's unlimited. We are limitless whenever we want to work on to this. This goes limitless. So these women who worked in World War I, or the various example you would see. I share one more example, because in tomorrow's session I'm going to take more examples on women leadership. Today I restricted myself because I thought what I'm going to talk then tomorrow. So you will see Michelle Obama. She always came out of that comfort zone. She was never into that comfort zone. Being wife of first lady of the America when she was, she's such highly educated, but still now she could enjoy her life. But I see that she keeps on enjoying, she keeps on going, she's talking to youth, she's making them aware of their rights, their law, and how she's motivating, visiting all the colleges, educational institution in United States of America. So she has all the options sitting at home and enjoy the life. But why she's opting for those challenges? Because sometimes challenges give you a lot of opportunities and gives you inner satisfaction also. And we women are like that. We actually, I tell you, it's my personal experience, and all of you who are sitting there across the globe, we enjoy being into challenges. We enjoy to be into crisis. And this is something that we love to have it. So here's my slide, which is life's challenges are not supposed to worry you. They are supposed to help you. discover you are, and how far you can go on. I told you in beginning when I was showing you the slides of challenges and the crisis, you must be amazed why I'm not giving you answer, why I'm not giving you solution. The solution is here. Never mind what challenges are here, but challenges or any crisis does not come to worry you. They come to help you, and they come to discover who you are. So the kind of case studies I have shared, 4 success stories with you of the women across Indonesia and across Liberia, then how these strong women, they took the challenges not to worry themselves, but they rediscovered themselves, and probably they had got more better opportunity. They got better opportunities once they overcome those challenges. And then Dr. Louis Coster has said, life is a journey, and the challenges you face are obstacles that you have to overcome. Why? Because they are what allow you to expand yourself, and they become more inclusive. I think it is the favorite word, inclusive, social inclusive, women inclusion, of whom South, our Pan African network, where they talk about inclusion. So, what I think, no one has power to include women, but it's women who includes everyone into her arena, into her sphere. Women is like space. She is like galaxy. She includes lot many people into her sphere whenever there are challenges or there are the crisis. So, and she's always compassionate, so she gets the opportunity to be more inclusive and compassionate into this journey of life, professional life and personal life. With the last slide, I would like to give this message in this my session where we talked about the crisis and the challenges and the opportunities. That what you can do, how can you be victorious, how you can be glorious, and how can you find opportunities in all the area. That you have to accept the challenges of your life, of your personal life and professional life, because nobody can give you solution. Nobody can. We can only give you example that only people can guide you, but your challenges are your personal sometimes, because your workplace challenges would be different than my workplace challenges. Your personal life challenges would be different than my personal crisis or personal life challenges. Similarly, few common challenges could be there, like entire world is fighting with pandemic, or entire world fought with Ebola epidemic, or before that war like situation, or some other economic crisis is happening. So entire world is fighting with that. But in that we find opportunities again depending upon the economic situation of the country, or depending upon the trade, depending upon the business opportunities of that country. But any challenges or any crisis of the entire world, even the WHO has said during the crisis of pandemic, that you can only face any crisis or any challenge being positive and being with a smile on your face, so that you can feel when after that, when you overcome your challenges and crisis, and when you have opportunity, you can have the exhilaration of that victory. So once you can exhilarate that, so exhilaration is very important. And this is all that I try to address the problems. I know this is a big area, and we can talk endless on the crisis, that what kind of crisis we are going through, what women leadership that they face the kind of crisis. But this in little time I try to bring down with the major points, that what kind of the crisis the women leadership goes through, and how they can overcome, how they can try to overcome. So even tomorrow session, those who have attended today, I will request them to attend, and who are on Facebook connected with me. So I will be talking more extensive, that what actually more professionally the women leadership can overcome the challenges. Thank you very much, Felix. I hope it's all from my side, and I'm really thankful for this opportunity, to the great opportunity to Pan African Network, Anna, and Bola, and also the entire people who are listening me, and also somebody who got connected on Facebook. I'm really thankful for this time. Thank you very much. Felix? Yeah, Anna.
Well, okay, let me just talk in before Felix talks. Thank you so much, Dr. Soni Sharma, for that very thorough and powerful training. And for those who were not here when we started, Dr. Sharma has over 15 years experience in teaching and professional training experience. And I think it's that clearly shows in how she has brought about this very insightful training, that she has taken us through. So thank you so much for that. And today's topic was about women leadership in crisis, challenges and opportunities. And Dr. Sharma has very clearly addressed these challenges, mentioning that women face social, political, economic, world crisis challenges, and even personal challenges. And she has narrowed it down to the global perspectives, to the national perspectives, and to the local perspectives. And Dr. Sharma has also mentioned that whenever a change happens globally, nationally or even locally, it affects mostly women. Like, for example, she posed a question of, do we really think about women when making global, national, or even local decisions? And a woman has to worry about the challenges she faces both in the workplace, that includes social stigma and discrimination, including salary discrimination, because you go to the workplaces and you find that women earn less than men for the same job that they're actually doing. And when she comes from the workplace, she has to go home and take care of the home, and she also faces challenges just from working at home after working after working about 8 to 10 hours at the office. She still has to come home and still do work at home, and also face challenges. And all these challenges made me remember or think about an article that was written by the UN Women, why we support women's leadership. And, we find that equality is still very far off in women's engagement, especially in public decision-making roles. And the article goes ahead to mention that we only have about 21% of women in ministerial positions, or women in holding minister positions. And that is globally. And we have about only 3 countries, I think Rwanda is one of them, at least we have an African country, that have 50% of women in parliament. The 50 rule of women and men should at least be equal in parliament. So we only have 3 countries with 50% of women in parliament, and about only 23, and now about 22, now 23 countries headed by women heads of state. So these challenges that women are facing are very real, and indeed they need to be addressed. And thank you, Dr. Sharma, for addressing these challenges. And you also added, or you also mentioned about the personal challenges that women go through, and kids being part of the challenge. And when you were talking about kids being part of the challenge, I just remembered that in our African community, as Africans, when children are good and when they perform well in school, or when they do something that makes people proud, that the child is associated with the father. That's when the fathers are so proud, and they are going to say, yes, that's my child. But when the child is disobedient, or when they fail exams, or when they commit certain mistakes, then it's said, that you're your mother's child. So men want to, from the African community, men want to associate with the goodness of children. And when kids go on and do bad things, now they are associated with women. So I thought this very double standard is very interesting, and it clearly shows that indeed women face a lot of challenges even at the comfort of their own homes. And it's important to address or to mention what some of the things you said, that we as women, we need to ask ourselves what kind of challenges we are facing if we need to find solutions. So we just can't go out there as women and find solutions if we don't know exactly what the kind of exact challenges that we are facing. And we as women, we need to make ourselves so strong. And by doing things, by becoming so strong, our leadership as women will get stronger day by day. But you encourage us not to worry, because challenges create opportunities depending on how you view them, and we shouldn't let challenges limit us. Nothing is easy, and challenges are not easy. But you, Dr. Soni, for those who didn't hear, our speaker's name, Dr. Soni Sharma, has encouraged us to keep pressing on even at the verge of challenges. So as women, we are all leaders, and we need to be, the leadership flag bearers, and we need to let that translate into our attitudes. We need a leader's attitude, not forgetting what Dr. Sharma said, that a woman's success is everybody's success. So once again, thank you very, very much, Dr. Sharma, for that very insightful training. And right now, I'd like to welcome Elijah to conclude the session for us. Thank you. Elijah, please take it away.
All right, thank you very much, Anne. We had a very great session today. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, am I audible enough?
Yes, we can hear you, Elijah.
All right, thank you very much. So, Dr. Soni Sharma, we are very grateful that you handled this, you facilitated the training section today. This section is actually our inaugural IWD series to emphasize the importance of women gaining relevant skills needed for inclusion, leadership, and gender equality, respectively from their local environments to the global stage. And Dr. Sharma, we really enjoyed your section. You were very detailed enough, and it's so experiential. It's an experiential learning section, and we look forward to learning from you tomorrow. And to our guests, other guests that are connected, especially those that are connected right now on Facebook, we're saying that let's try our best to follow through the training section tomorrow. We like to have everyone as much as possible follow through the training section so that we can properly grab the necessary ideas that needed to be grabbed from the 2D training section. Dr. Soni Sharma, we are grateful for your time. And then I want to make a very brief, very brief presentation on our organization for the benefit of the public. Our organization, Pan-African Women Network, it's an organization that is focused on women inclusion in leadership and decision making. And of course, just like as Dr. Soni Sharma has said, from our experience in the academic field and also in the public-private sector and the development sector, both in India and Indonesia, and with our work with other countries, with women and corporate entities from other countries, she can agree with me that you can see that there is always more women relegated to the background due to more number of women illiterates compared to that of their male counterparts. So we have more women illiterate. The total number of illiterates in the world, over 796 million illiterates in the world. And of course, there is always a correlation between education and decision-making power. If a person is highly educated, naturally he or she would get an opportunity to be in decision-making, be it in the political field or in the business field. And so you see, when we have more women at the local level, and then when the plane ascends, as we ascend the horizon from the local level to the region, to the nation, to the global stage, we have lesser women. So like there's a decline, you can see my curve. So having known these facts, just like Dr. Soni Sharma said, she cited several examples from India, from other parts of Africa, and coincidentally, most of our cultures are similar. I mean, Indian culture, and some of the Asian culture, we have some sort of intersection between these cultures and African countries culture. So there's similar kind of challenges, especially regarding to women inclusion, leadership, and decision making. So most of the stories she told from India, we could relate to that here in Africa because it's almost similar. Now, having known these facts, the Pan-African Women Network is an organization that is focused on women inclusion through the implementation of strategic leadership strategic programs that will enhance leadership development and relevant professional skills for all our women. And then one might be wondering, why are we, it's Pan-African, why are we working with women from around the globe, especially women that are not African, like Dr. Soni? We believe that in our organization, we believe that global partnership is important. We also want our women to be liberated. They should feel free to interact with women around the world to build their own leadership skills or their business skills, seek for business opportunity, professional growth, and both for their local influence and for their global reach. So we believe that with our organization, with our four cardinal points, professional membership arm for university undergraduates and the university girls especially, and then business women, professional women, and the rural women in our agricultural development program. And then what we do working with people like Dr. Soni Sharma to provide solution in both public and private sector, in the public and private sector towards women inclusion and gender equality. And then advocacy, working with relevant partners to educate and reorientate the mindset of the society. So we believe that we keep at it, we enhance the inclusion of women in leadership and decision making, not just in Africa, but in the world at large. And then we look forward to working with women like Dr. Soni Sharma. It's really a great opportunity to have met you, Dr. Soni Sharma. We look forward to working more with you. We would like to have more of these sections with you consistently and consequently. So we're just going to give the meeting to a close. We please with everyone that tomorrow at the same time by 9 a.m. GMT. 9 a.m. GMT. Dr. Soni Sharma is connected from Indonesia. So 9 a.m. GMT is about 4 p.m. Indonesian time, right, Dr. Soni Sharma?
Yes, in case, because it's early morning for you, if you want, you can delay for 15 minutes. If people are interested to join little late, like 9:15, I don't mind. I can wait for 15 minutes.
Thank you most graciously, Dr. Soni Sharma. We appreciate your concern and your consideration. We'll try and work out a very good time for us to join. But for the record, by 9 a.m. GMT, we encourage participants to start coming into the
Yes.
We'll start within the hour. So we are grateful to everyone. I'm very grateful to the host, Anne Waniki from Kenya. Anne Waniki is the executive assistant to the outgoing youth envoy to the African Union. She's very passionate about policy influencing, policy research and development, and also she's very good with leadership development in her country. And then we have Bola Yaya. Bola Yaya was the other host. Unfortunately, she couldn't officiate today, but she has been a very strong support to pull through this program. Our corporate communication officer is here, Barrister Rosemont Field, is to apply what we've learned today from Dr. Soni Sharma's training to our personal and professional lives. And then we look forward to our training sections tomorrow. Thank you very much, Dr. Soni Sharma. Would you like to say something before we call it to a close?
Yeah. Again, I have no words to extend my gratitude to you. I think my words are less because you have done so much for me organizing this session and connecting beautiful people like Bola and Mavanki. It was great listening her. She sounds so specific. Her words of wisdom were really inspiring. In fact, the way she concluded what I have delivered, it was very impressive. And moreover, Elisa Felix, you are the pioneer for me. You have helped me to connect with Pan African Women Network, and I promise you, till I live, I will be able to contribute in my way. Wherever you need me, you will always find me helping and making your organization strong and stronger day by day. So I bless you all. May Almighty bless us with this strength that we make this organization standing alone for strengthening women empowerment and women inclusion. What is your purpose and objective of the organization? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Soni Sharma. We are grateful. We look forward to working more with you. Perhaps in subsequent programs, we may decide to so that our African women can connect with Indian women too for more global impact. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Section now. We need to play back our music. The background music is actually the African Union anthem, just to enhance the spirit of Africanism for all our members and our guests. Hope you enjoy our music in the background. Namaste, Dr. Soni.
Let us all unite and celebrate together the victories won for our liberation. Let us dedicate ourselves to rise together to defend our liberty and unity. All sons and flesh of the sun and flesh of the sky, Africa, a tree of life. Let us all unite and sing together to uphold the bonds that frame our destiny. Let us dedicate ourselves to fight together for lasting peace and justice on earth. All sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of, let us make Africa the tree of life. Let us all unite and toil together to give the best we have to Africa, the cradle of mankind and fount of culture, our pride and hope and break of dawn. All sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the sky. Let us make Africa the tree of life.
All right, thank you all. We'll connect tomorrow, same time. We are grateful to you, Dr. Soni Sharma. Namaste.